How millionaires live versus how billionaires live. While we all know that billionaires control a substantial amount of the world's wealth, in fact, current projections see the richest 1% controlling 2/3 of it by 2030. What they use their vast fortunes on may surprise you. When they aren't investing in space shuttles, underground hyperloops and sprawling tech campuses, the super rich are looking at a range of mind-blowing methods to increase their lifespan. We've dug into some of the strangest and most extravagant approaches billionaires have turned to in their quest for immortality, or at least get a few more years in than the rest of us. Healthy people, specifically those between ages 16 and 25, into those who feel that they're getting on in years. That's not to say it's restricted to the elderly. Anyone aged 35 and up is viable for this service. Billionaire PayPal co-founder turned venture capitalist Peter Thiel has made headlines over the past few years for his rumored interest in this process, specifically related to a startup company called Ambrosia. This isn't new ground for Thiel, who has made investments in several medical research startups looking at ways to extend life via his Breakout Labs fund. In case this all still sounds a little bit far-fetched, there had been enough progress made to prompt the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, to issue a statement that the process has no proven clinical benefits and is potentially harmful. This is unlikely to deter interest from those with the cash for a pint or two of youthful plasma, and as of the start of 2019 there are 3 U.S. companies offering the service to well-paying trial participants. If you had the chance to be preserved after death with the possibility of being resuscitated in a future where medical science is light years ahead, would you take it? It seems like, for some prominent billionaires, the answer is a resounding yes. Peter Thiel, yes, him again, is the most vocal in his endorsement of this process via substantial investments, proving that the mega-rich see some real potential in the method of life extension. One of the most famous people associated with cryonics is Walt Disney. Although the rumors of him being frozen after his death have been debunked, the process itself is very real. Another notable billionaire championing cryonics is Canadian businessman and founder of Future Electronics, Robert Miller. He not only donates generously to the Alcor Life Extension Foundation but has also stated that he intends to undergo the process himself. It's not just humans that can benefit from the freezing process, according to the Cryonics Institute, which also offers a range of options for pets, -4,000 for cats or dogs and even £760 for a pet bird. At least the billionaires who choose to give this method a go won't be lonely in the distant future, assuming that they're ever unfrozen. Would you consider uploading your brain to the cloud if it meant you could live forever? What if you knew to do so you'd have to be euthanized as part of the procedure? Now we've really crossed the line into futurist fiction territory, or, if MIT-backed research company Nectomy is to be believed, the next step in human consciousness. While it's easy to laugh these ideas off as Silicon Valley gone mad, it's worth mentioning that there's some serious money being invested into this project, with around £1 million in funding and a £900,000 federal grant from the U.S. National Institute of Mental Health. The end of the world could take many forms. If this is all starting to sound a little bit paranoid, you obviously aren't sitting on billions. Reddit's CEO Steve Huffman has provided the best insight into this mentality, claiming that he had corrective eye surgery and stockpiles weaponry, food and gold coins to make sure he's ready for a disaster scenario. If his case sounds like an anomaly, estimates from insiders claim that upwards of 50% of Silicon Valley billionaires have some form of apocalypse insurance. When you've accumulated all the money it's possible to get your hands on here on Earth, it makes sense that you'd set your sights a bit further. That's exactly what several super-rich individuals are currently doing, with a billionaire space race now underway. As well as being a smart investment where tech development is concerned in the commercial aspects, netting them some big revenue, there's a clear ulterior motive of hedging bets in case our planet suffers a crisis. After all, who doesn't dream of a nice holiday home on Mars? It seems to be impossible to find a scheme to outlive the rest of us that Peter Thiel isn't involved in. Like several of his unimaginably rich peers, he has purchased a 477-acre estate in New Zealand worth tens of millions, which he claims is insurance against global catastrophes. Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg is apparently on the same wavelength, with a 700-acre plot of land in Hawaii, just in case. They say money can't buy you happiness, but it can certainly get you somewhere fancy to hide while the world ends. Many people have the wrong idea about what being a millionaire is all about. Many also equate instant gratification with happiness. They believe that millionaires live lavish lifestyles and all that self-indulgence brings lasting happiness. Well, from my research and my own observations of the many self-made multimillionaires I know, I find that most self-made, sustainable millionaires do not live this way. What does sustainable mean? It means a person whose millions of dollars will last a lifetime and not just a couple of years. Officially, Bill Gates is ranked as the richest man in the world with a net worth of $46 billion. Unofficially, figures put IKEA founder Ingvar Kamprad as the world's richest with a net worth of $53 billion. One of the reasons he managed to accumulate so much money is because of his frugal nature. Up to today, it is said that Kamprad flies economy, drives an old Volvo and even waits until the afternoon to buy his fruits and vegetables, when the prices drop significantly. If he were alive today, Sam Walton, 1918 to 1992, founder of Walmart, would be the richest man in the world with an estimated net worth of $90 billion. If you take a look at Forbes' list of the 10 richest people in the world, 5 of them are the Waltons who inherited their money from Sam. Again, he was well known for sharing rooms during business trips to save money, flying only economy and wearing clothes from his own discount store. Another fascinating example is Warren Buffett, officially ranked the second richest man in the world today with a net worth of $42 billion. Even with all this money, it's said that Warren will not buy a brand new car as he thinks it's just not worth the money. Back in the 60s, Warren remarked that if he spent $20,000 on a new car, it would be worth little or nothing in 10 years. He also knew that he could achieve a 25% annual compounded return on his $20,000 if he were to invest it. Going by this return, investing $20,000 would bring him $158,518 in 10 years, $1.26 million in 20 years and $9.96 million in 30 years. She figured that $9.96 million was just too much to waste on a car. When many people learn of this frugal trait of millionaires, they often think to themselves, well, here's the answer. Most millionaires get their joy and fun not from spending money but from doing what they love to do. To them, money is just a means of measuring their success. This is why, even with all the money in the world, they still work hard to build their businesses and empire. This is because they are driven by passion for what they do and a sense of mission. If spending money brings you enjoyment, you will never be rich. However, if making money brings you enjoyment, then your wealth is guaranteed. Like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel.